Hi guys, and welcome to the week 15 spiral video corrections. As always, make sure that after you input your answer, if you get something wrong, that you put the full correction on your paper in pen. Monday. A rectangular classroom is 32 feet long and has a perimeter of 120 feet. Label the drawing with the correct values to represent the situation. Let W represent the width of the classroom. So what I would suggest first is if you go over to this figure and fill in the information that you were given with the 32 feet long and the perimeter of 120. And then you will be prompted to enter your answer for each of the following questions. So first, write an expression that represents the sum of the length and width. Next, write an expression that represents twice the sum of the length and width. Next, write an equation you could use to find the perimeter of the classroom. And last, what is the width of the classroom? Okay, so over on the side, I started by filling in information I knew. So the perimeter is 120 feet, and then it says that it's 32 feet long. So if this is 32, this is 32. We don't know what the width is, so that's why I used W. So to write an expression that represents the sum of the length, you would put 32 plus W, the sum of the length and the width. To write an expression that represents twice the sum of the length and the width, we could use 32 plus W as well, and then we just put it in parentheses and multiply by 2. And then to write an equation you could use to find the perimeter of the classroom. Remember the formula for perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or you could do 2 times the length plus width. So I use 2 times 32 plus W equals 120. And then down here below is my work where I solved for W by first distributing the 2 to each term in the parentheses, and then I subtracted 64 from each side and then divided by 2, and so I get that the width is 28 feet. Tuesday, Mr. Gomez bought fruit to make fruit salad. He bought 2.5 pounds of apples and spent $4.50 on apples and oranges. Write and solve an equation to determine the number of pounds of oranges Mr. Gomez bought. Okay, so I first defined my variable. X is the number of pounds of oranges that he bought, because that's what I want to know. So I used the information over here where it told me the price per pound. So first, instead of 2.5, the mixed number, I used 2.5, and I multiplied it by $1.20 because that's how much a pound of apples costs, and then I add that to $1.20 times X. Then solve for X by first subtracting 3 on both sides, then dividing by 1.20, and so he can get 1 1/4 or 1.25 pounds. Wednesday, a rental car company charges a fixed fee of $30 plus 5 cents per mile. Let C represent the total cost of renting a car and driving it M miles. Write an equation that could be used to find the total cost of renting a car and driving it any number of miles. The Boggs family paid $49.75 for their car rental. How many miles did they drive? So first, my important information, there's a fixed fee of $30 and there is 5 cents per mile. C is the cost of renting the car, and then M is the number of miles. So for my equation, the cost of renting a car, C, would be that fixed $30 fee, the one-time fee, plus 5 cents per mile per means to multiply. The Boggs family paid $49.75 for their car rental, so what I can do is down here where I showed my work, I made an equation here's the $49.75 for the cost of renting the car, and that is equal to $30 plus 5 cents per mile. And then I solved for M by first subtracting 30 on each side and then dividing by 0.05, and I got that they drove 395 miles. Thursday, solve and check your solution. So this is a two-step equation. With two-step equations, the first thing you want to do is get rid of the constant. So that's why I subtracted 25 on both sides. I was left with 11/12 times b equals 22. Then to get rid of a fractional coefficient, you multiply by the reciprocal on each side. And once I did that, I got 24. And then I plugged my answer back in to check it. Okay, we are halfway through. Here is not that good of a picture of PJ, and on the right is his actual sister Gracie, and on the left is his stepsister Lucy. They're all doodles. Turn the page, make sure you have the following notes in front of you. Again, full corrections for everything that you miss. Number 1, a sprinkler is set to cover the area shown. Find the area of the grass being watered if the sprinkler reaches a distance of 10 feet. So a hint on this, it is area of a circle. So start with the formula. And then also, you're not going to need the full area. It's only 3/4 or 75% of the circle. Okay, so I started with the formula. Area of a circle is A equals pi times the radius squared. I substituted my values and multiplied, and I got that the area of the circle is 314 feet squared. But only 75% is being watered, or 3/4. So you could do 3/4 times 3.14, or I changed 75% to a decimal and multiplied, and I got 235.5 feet squared, so H would be the closest answer. Number 2, Deborah has 2 different rectangular baking dishes. One has a length of 8 inches and a width of 12 inches, and the other has a length of 9 inches and a width of 15 inches. What is the difference in area of Deborah's 2 baking dishes? So my hint is to draw a picture to help you and label the length and width of each dish. Okay, so on the left, 8 by 12 would be an area of 96 inches squared. On the right, 9 by 15 would be an area of 135 inches squared. We're asked what is the difference between the two. So I took the bigger one, 135, and subtracted 96, and it's a difference of 39 inches squared. Number 3, the table shows the dimensions of 4 rectangles. How many centimeters longer is the rectangle with the greatest area than the rectangle with the least area? Okay, so what I did is first to find the one with the greatest and with the least, because I got to find the difference, I found the area of each rectangle, A, B, C, D. So after I did that, the greatest was C, which is 30 centimeters squared. And I subtracted the least, which is 11.6, and I came up with 18.4 centimeters squared. Number 4, Karen has a square vegetable garden that has a side length of 21.5 feet. If she increases the length of each of the sides of her garden by 3 feet, then by how many square feet does she increase the area of her garden? Okay, so drawing pictures helps me. So I drew her original square garden right here, and since the square has all sides the same, I do side times side, and that's 462.25 feet squared. So then we want to know the difference if she increases it. So if I add 3 to 21.5, I'm going to get 24.5. I then found the area side times side and got 600.25 feet squared. So we wanted to know the increase of the area. You take the new one, which is 600.25, and subtract 462.25, and I got that it's an increase of 138 feet. Congratulations, you have finished your week 15 spiral. I will see you guys again next week. Have a good week.